Happy draft day, Commanders fans. Could a big draft day trade be in the works between Adam Peters and a division rival for tonight? I think it might happen here, guys, and we're going to be breaking it down on today's edition of the Commanders Report with our last-minute Commanders draft rumors video. Of course, later tonight, the 2025 NFL Draft will officially be open, and the Washington Commanders currently hold the number 29 overall pick. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button for our extensive draft coverage of the Burgundy and Gold all throughout the 2025 NFL Draft. All right, so let's get into this really juicy rumor here, guys, where the Washington Commanders and the New York Football Giants have reportedly been in contact working on a deal for the Commanders to trade out of the first round tonight and for the Giants to move back in to take a quarterback. They are expected to take Abdul Carter at number 3 overall. And there's been a lot of reports connecting the G-men to Jackson Dart, quarterback out of Ole Miss. And this is the reported deal that they are considering at this point. A second-round pick for the Commanders, so you move down and out of the first round, but you don't actually move down all that far. You go from 29 to 34, but you add a third-round pick at number 99 overall. Currently, the Washington Commanders do not possess a third-round pick, so that would give them an extra day 2 pick to go along with number 61 that they already have in the second round. And personally, I would take this deal. All right, especially if I have a number of different players on my board that I feel like I would be comfortable drafting as my top draft choice, and I feel like at least one of those players are going to be there at number 34. Adding that extra day 2 pick could really help this Commanders team fill out the rest of the needs on this roster and give them some more ammo to get some good players in the NFL Draft in the middle rounds. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Would you accept this trade if you were GM Adam Peters? You are allowing your division rival to come up for a quarterback, but this is nothing new. The Commanders moved down with the Philadelphia Eagles last year in the second round where they took Cooper DeJean. So this is absolutely on the table, guys. Type A if you would accept it, or type D for decline. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show, so YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. In terms of the Commanders trading for a veteran player over the next several days, guys, these are 6 players I would say keep your eye on. All 6 of these players have been connected to certain trade rumors in positions of need for the Washington Commanders. Of course, we've been talking about Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals quite a bit on this channel over the last several weeks, and there's been some rumblings that if the Bengals take an edge rusher in round 1, that they might consider trading Trey Hendrickson for a round 2 pick. Jair Alexander's also a player that I've connected to the Washington Commanders quite a bit on this channel. I think he'd be an excellent fit for what the Washington Commanders are looking for, and you could potentially get him for like a 4th-round pick. Jalen Ramsey, kind of similar type of deal there. Keep your eye on him. Same thing with Greg Newsome. The second, the Browns are expected to take Travis Hunter at number 2 overall tonight, and the Browns are reportedly shopping Newsome. Tyree Wilson, a former top 5 pick for the Las Vegas Raiders, could be on the trade block as well if you want to go out and get a different edge rusher. And if you want to add a wide receiver, George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers has been connected to a bunch of different teams over the last 24 hours. Personally, guys, the guy that I would love for the Commanders to add, especially tonight, is Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, it's been pretty well established that Hendrickson and the Bengals have been in some pretty murky water here. They've kind of exchanged barbs in the media, and it's definitely a possibility where if Cincinnati can find a legit edge rusher to replace Hendrickson's role as their number 1 edge rusher, I could certainly see the Bengals trading Hendrickson to the Washington Commanders at some point during the NFL Draft this year, if not tonight. So that's going to be something to really keep your eye on. And if Adam Peters can land Trey Hendrickson, who led this entire league in sacks last year, I think it'll be an absolute home run. So coming up here on the Commanders Report, most likely round 1 targets. I think that the Commanders could go in a bunch of different ways depending on how the board falls tonight. So we'll be breaking down all those top round 1 draft targets here in just one moment. But first, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Game Time. And guys, I'm somebody that on the weekends, when we're not doing extensive draft coverage here at Chat Sports and I'm free on a weekend, I like to go to a baseball game. Whether that's here at home in Arlington at Globe Life Park to watch the Rangers, or whether I'm in D.C. To watch the Nationals play at beautiful Nationals Park. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of the Commanders Report by Chat Sports and makes getting tickets to any live event faster and easier all on your phone. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, and with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. If you guys want to check out the Washington Nationals play this year, you guys can check that out at Nationals Park this year. And the thing about the Game Time app, guys, is that it's super easy to use. They get the lowest price guarantee on any ticket to any event, whether it's a concert, whether it's a comedy show, whatever the case may be. And of course, if you are a baseball fan like myself, you guys can get great tickets all over the ballpark all season long to any ballpark in America on the Game Time app today. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports. It's one word, all caps, ChatSports. It's down there in the bottom of your screen right now for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply for that first purchase only. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. These are 6 potential round 1 edge rusher targets for the Washington Commanders. Now, there's definitely a possibility here, guys, that all 6 of these players make it to you at number 29. Mike Green, James Pierce Jr., they have certain character, or at least football character concerns, but everybody else, Ezeraku, Stewart, Williams, and then even Nick Scorton from Texas A&M, all these guys have a chance to be there at number 29, but also they have a chance to not be there at number 29, and I do think there's going to be a run on edge rushers somewhere in the 20s with Detroit and other teams looking for edge rusher help in the 20s this year, so it's going to be interesting to see if one of these guys does fall to the Commanders at number 29, and if a guy like Mike Green or James Pierce Jr. or Ezeraku or Shamar Stewart and Michael Williams, especially those 5 right there, if one of those guys is available at number 29 and the Commanders do not trade down with the New York Giants, I think that there's a pretty good chance it's an edge rusher tonight. But some other positions to keep your eye on. We'll take a look at strong safety. I think the 2 guys that could be potentially on the board for the Commanders tonight are Nick Emenwari from South Carolina, kind of a Jeremy Chin clone from a physical perspective. Of course, Chin went to Las Vegas Raiders during free agency. They brought in Will Harris, but he's not as big as Jeremy Chin. He's not a true box safety, which is what is traditionally played in this style of defense with Dan Quinn. So I do think they're going to want to get a starting strong safety. Kevin Winston Jr. out of Penn State, another guy to keep your eye on. Really, really good tape. He's my number 2 overall safety in this entire class. I actually have a higher grade on him than Nick Emenwari. Then at the cornerback position, this is kind of a sneaky need for the Commanders because, yes, they brought in Jonathan Jones, but it's a 1-year, $5.5 million contract. Didn't play all that well last year, and they're going to need a long-term solution at the outside cornerback position. I think Trey Amos from Ole Miss would be an immediate fit and could start day 1. Same thing with Benjamin Morrison if he's healthy enough. Same thing with Siobhan Revel Jr. from East Carolina. And then Maxwell Harrison's another guy that has been connected to the Commanders as well. Also had a top 30 visit with the Commanders before the NFL draft. Another position that they could potentially look at is to get another weapon. All right, Deebo Samuel really isn't much of a route runner. He's going to be more of a gadget piece in this defense, which is okay. He's really, really good at that. But you got Terry McLaurin as your alpha, and they might want to give Jaden Daniels another weapon on the outside to consistently get open and open up some more opportunities for Scary Terry. Jaden Higgins is a guy that I have consistently linked to the Commanders. I actually took Higgins in my last Commanders mock draft that is on the channel right now. Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, pairing the Ohio State players there, and Egbuka and Terry McLaurin up together would be nice. Luther Burden III, similar skill set to Malik Neighbors, just a far reduced version of Malik Neighbors. If you want to get a dynamic playmaker out in space for Jaden Daniels, who has utilized a guy like Malik Neighbors before at a high level, Luther Burden III could be a choice for them as well. And then another way you could help out your quarterback is to protect him. And if, like, any of the top offensive linemen, Kelvin Banks Jr., Gray Zabel, Josh Connerly Jr., Josh Simmons is expected to fall a little bit, and then Tyler Booker's another potential option. If you really want to prioritize upgrading the left guard position, which is really kind of the biggest hole on the Commanders' offensive line, you could consider taking an offensive lineman here in round 1 as well. And then in terms of the running back position, there's been whispers that the Commanders are looking to draft a good running back in this year's class with Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler both on expiring contracts this season. So keep your eye on Travion Henderson, who a lot of people that I trust are adamant that Henderson is going to be a first-round pick, all right? And if he's there at number 29, I can't say it'd shock me if the Commanders took him. He is a good fit for what the Commanders want to do on offense. But my best guess, guys, is that I think they trade out tonight. I think they trade out with the New York Giants. You don't move down all that far. You can still get a player that you really like, and you can get an additional day 2 pick, which is something I think the Washington Commanders are highly interested in. So predict it for me down there in the comment section. My prediction is that they trade out and they don't take anyone tonight. But let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. Who will be Washington's top draft choice this year? Predict it for me down there in the comment section to get yourself ready for the start of the 2025 NFL Draft. And we will have extensive coverage on every single pick tonight on Chat Sports Main. So if you're not subscribed to Chat Sports Main, me and Tom Downey are going to be live for every single pick tonight on that channel. And then, of course, we're going to have live pick cuts or extensive in-depth pick cuts for every single thing that the Washington Commanders do tonight. All right, so make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Greatly appreciate all of your guys' support. Until next time, guys, go raise some hail.